So you've got this brilliant app idea, right? But then you hit that classic wall. Do you build for the iPhone first or for Android? I mean, what if you could just do both, and maybe the web too, all at the same time? Today, we're going to dig into that developer's dream, build once, deploy everywhere, and find out if it's for real or if it's still just a myth.
Hey everyone, I'm from WeblineIndia. And just so you know where we're coming from, our team lives and breathes this stuff every single day. We're in the trenches building everything from custom mobile and web apps to really complex AI solutions and even business automation. And all that hands-on work gives us a pretty clear picture of what really works out there in the wild.
You know, so many businesses run right into this problem. They have a fantastic idea, but just thinking about launching on multiple platforms feels, well, totally overwhelming. Trying to juggle separate teams, separate budgets, and separate timelines for both iOS and Android, it can be a total project killer before you even get started. It's a super common and super expensive headache. And this slide really nails the difference. I mean, the old way, you needed completely different teams, which meant your costs basically doubled, and it took forever to get your app out to your users. But the promise of this build once, deploy everywhere approach, we can call it BODE, is to just streamline all of that. We're talking one team, a much healthier budget, and a way faster launch. So this whole BODE idea, it's been the holy grail of development for years. But is it the real deal? Or is it just one of those tech promises that sounds a little too good to be true? Let's find out. So let's just make sure we're all on the same page. At its heart, BODE is a really simple but incredibly powerful concept. It's all about writing your app's code one time in one single code base. And then you can use that same code to create apps that run beautifully on iOS, on Android, and yep, even on the web. And here's the big headline, really. It's time to change how we think about this. What used to be a developer's pipe dream is now a totally legitimate, practical strategy that companies are using every single day to build amazing apps. The technology has finally caught up to the dream. And the numbers behind this are they're staggering. It all starts with being efficient. With the tools we have today, you can reuse as much as 80% of your code across platforms. Think about that. That's a massive amount of duplicated work that just disappears. And you know what that kind of efficiency means, right? It translates directly to your bottom line. On average, companies that do BODE the right way can see about a 40% drop in their development costs. For any budget, whether you're a startup or a huge company, that is an absolute game changer. And we're not talking about some small niche trend here. This is a full-blown movement. The entire market for cross-platform development is expected to be worth over $500 billion by 2033. That's not a fad, that's the future of how we're going to build software. Okay, so the benefits are huge. That much is clear. But you might be wondering, how did this suddenly become possible? What actually changed in the tech world to make this a reality after all these years? Well, it really all comes down to a few key technologies that have seriously grown up. We're talking about powerful frameworks like Flutter and React Native. They've gotten so good that the apps feel incredibly smooth and responsive, what we call near-native performance. Plus, they're supported by this huge world of tools and plugins that just makes development faster, which, of course, leads to all those time and cost savings. And you can see just how mainstream this stuff is now. I mean, if you look at the 2023 data from Statista, Flutter is already the most popular choice, used by almost half of all developers. This isn't some experimental tech anymore. This is an industry standard. Okay, but let's be real for a second. It sounds almost perfect, which usually means there's a catch, right? So what are the trade-offs? It's a totally fair question, and we need to look at this with our eyes wide open. And the truth is, yeah, there are some hurdles. For example, if you need to use a very specific phone feature, like some advanced camera setting, it can get a little tricky. You also have to be really smart about designing your apps so it feels natural on both an iPhone and an Android device, because they have their own look and feel. And for really complex, demanding apps, you got to put in the work to optimize performance. So that's the big question, isn't it? Knowing that these challenges exist, how do you actually pull this strategy off and get all those amazing benefits without falling into the traps? This is really where having experience makes all the difference. For example, at WeblineIndia, we've developed a proven game plan for exactly this. To handle those tricky device features, we build our own custom native modules. For the user experience, we design what we call adaptive interfaces, so they feel right at home on any platform. Our engineers are obsessed with code optimization to make sure everything is fast,
And our testing? We do it on a whole library of real devices, not just simulators, to make sure it's perfect. So let's bring it all home. The future of making apps has arrived. Build once, deploy everywhere is no longer the rare exception to the rule. It is quickly, and I mean quickly, becoming the new standard for building software the smart way. So if you're thinking about your next app and wondering if this approach is the right fit for you, we'd honestly love to chat. You can find us over at WeblineIndia.com or just shoot an email to our team at info@WeblineIndia.com. And of course, give us a follow on social media for more insights just like this one. All right, thanks so much for watching. We really hope this explainer gave you a clear look at the whole BODE landscape. If you found it helpful, hitting that like button is always a huge help for us. And definitely subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the tech that's shaping everything around us. We'll see you in the next one.